Good morning, reception. Okay, we are moving on to our next topic. So we're not doing dinosaurs anymore. That was our last topic. That's finished now. We've had our Easter holidays and now we're moving on to our next topic. And Miss Matthews told you on Twitter that we are now doing traditional tales. And our first traditional tale that we are focusing on is Jack and the Beanstalk. So I thought before we start, I'd read you the story and then we can move on to our literacy work. Sound good? Perfect. Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a boy called Jack. Jack lived in a cottage with his mother. They were very poor and their most valuable possession was a cow. What's a cottage? Does anyone know what a cottage is? It's a small house. Well done. One day, Jack's mother asked him to take the cow to the market to sell. If you're selling something, what do you normally get back? So if I sell you some shoes, what will you give me to pay for it? Money. Well done. Money. Okay, so Jack should be getting some money. On the way, Jack met a man who gave him some magic beans in exchange for the cow. Did he get money? He got some beans. Do you think Mummy's going to be very happy? When Jack came home with his beans, his mother was very angry. She threw the beans out the window and sent him to bed. Oh dear. The next morning, Jack looked out of the window. A giant beanstalk had grown in the garden. Oh dear. Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. It was so tall, it went right up into the sky and through the clouds. When Jack finally reached the top, he saw an enormous castle. I wonder who's going to be in the castle. Jack decided to go inside. All of the furniture was huge. Suddenly, Jack heard a loud noise. He ran into a cupboard to hide. An enormous giant came into the room. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. He bellowed. What does bellowed mean? Like a really big voice. Well done. The giant sat down at the table. And on the table was a hen and a golden harp. Lay, said the giant, and the hen laid an egg. It was made out of solid gold. Sing, said the giant. The harp sang and the giant fell asleep. Jack jumped out the cupboard and took the hen and the harp. As Jack ran, the harp cried, "Help, master!" What do you think the giant's going to do? The giant woke up and called, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman," and he chased Jack to the top of the beanstalk. Jack climbed down the beanstalk and the giant followed him. As Jack got to the bottom of the beanstalk, he shouted, "Help! Help!" Jack's mother came out with an axe. She used it to chop the bottom of the beanstalk. The giant fell and crashed to the ground. He was never seen again. With the golden eggs and the magic harp, Jack and his mother lived happily ever after. The end. Who liked that story? I like that story too. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing in our lesson is we're going to be looking at our story of Jack and the Beanstalk. We're going to be thinking what happened in our story of Jack and the Beanstalk. And we're going to be retelling the story. So we've read the story, we know the story, and now we're going to retell it in our own words. So you need some paper, you need a pen, and you need your thinking caps on. So switch your brains on. On. Okay. So we need to have a think. I've got some pictures to help us. Here's a picture. What happened at the beginning of the story? Let's have a think. What happened at the beginning of the story? Jack lived with his mum. And were they really rich or were they really poor? They were poor. So I'm going to get my writing and I'm going to sit this way so you can see it. And we are going to write Jack lived with his his mum, and who else did he live with? His mum and the cow. And a cow. Now, because I'm a superhero writer, I'm making sure I'm using my capital letters at the beginning of my sentences. I'm making sure I'm using my finger spaces and I'm using my full stops. So Jack lived with his mum and a cow. Then what happened? Jack had to go and sell the cow. So Jack had to sell, L for bell, the tricky word, cow, cow. Jack had to sell the cow. Did Jack get money for the cow? What did he get instead? Who can remember? Some magic beans. So Jack had to sell the cow. Capital letter, he got some, tricky word, some curly beans. He got some magic beans. Full stop. He got some magic beans. Was Mummy happy? So Mum was very angry. Well done. Capital letter. Was, tricky word, angry. Mum was angry. What did she do? Because she was so angry. She threw the beans out the window. So tricky word. He threw. Tricky word, the, finger space, beans out. That's a tricky word. Yeah, I might have to ask mummies and daddies to help. Out of the window. Threw some beans out the window. What do I need at the end of my sentence? Oh, stop. Super. What happened next? What's this? A beanstalk. Capital letter, a beanstalk grew. And what did Jack decide to do to it? Did he just leave it? Nope. He decided to climb it, didn't he? A beanstalk grew and Jack climbed it. What happened when he got to the top? What was at the top? There was a huge castle. Who lived in the castle? Ooh. So at the top there was, tricky word, a huge castle. Remember to use your sounds. Huge castle. Who lived in the castle? A big giant. So let me write it. A big finger space giant lived there. Was the giant happy to see Jack? He said, let's say it together, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. So you might want to write that down. I'm not going to write that down because that's too long for me, but I think you might be able to do it. And then what did the harp do? The harp sung. Well done. The harp, oops, need to do it so you can see it. The harp sung. And what happened to the giant? And the giant fell asleep. Well done. And the giant fell asleep. Now, I'm not going to do any more writing because my hand's sore and this video is going to end up being really long, but we're going to go through the rest of the story and then I'm going to put this PowerPoint onto our website so you can have a look at it. So the giant fell asleep. But then Jack ran away with the harp and the eggs. Well done. And who followed him? The giant followed him. Well done. And the giant was screaming, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Well done. So they're running. They're running. Where do they run to? Where do they run to? The beanstalk. And then what did Jack do? He climbed down the beanstalk. And when he got to the bottom, he shouted, help, help. Who came to help him? Who can remember? Quickly whisper to your mummies who came to help him. His mummy. And his mummy came and she chopped down the beanstalk. And then the giant fell. And then he disappeared. No one saw him again. And then Jack and his mum had the eggs and the harp and they lived happily ever after. The end. So that's what your job is today. We're just going to retell the story. Miss Rootsey wrote the beginning bit of the story and it's so much writing. But I think you could do the whole story. So you're going to have Jack and the Beanstalk on the website. You're also going to have this PowerPoint to help you remember what happened in the story. And I cannot wait to see your writing and I'd love to see it put on Twitter. Okay? Good luck. And mummies and daddies, I want to see who's the superhero writers. So we need capital letters, finger spaces, and we need full. I wonder if you can do it. I cannot wait to see. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.